Good morning and welcome to CSL Greater Boston. What a gift it is to be here with you this morning. And we have the topic of love thy neighbor. We are here to be the light in the world for ourselves, but also for all within it. And today's topic, this month, we are talking about loving out loud and letting people know, yes, we are the change we wish to see in the world. So we do that not with our words, but our actions. So we talk about today loving our neighbor. What does that look like? What does that picture out into the world as? And what difference does it make? So before we get into our message, I just want to tell you a little bit more about CSL Greater Boston. We are an inclusive community that is based on love and acceptance that is a healing presence for all through joyful connections, activities, and education. Our mission is a spiritual community that lovingly embraces all races, age, abilities, genders, and the celebration of diversity through the practice of science of mind teachings and the principles for the betterment of each individual and the oneness of all. And our purpose, we bring about positive change within individuals and the world by teaching and embodying science of mind teachings and the principles carried out and carrying them out into the world. That is who and what we are here at CSL Greater Boston. And we're so grateful that you're here with us today. And we're going to begin, as we often do, with music and come back to prayer. And so grateful that you are here with us. This song is My Kind of People. When we talk about, spiritual community, I love the line in this song. It says, if your vibe is your tribe, yes, yes, yes. We choose our tribe. So grateful that you're here with us this morning.
Every time I turn on my TV, losing my faith in humanity. It's full of angry, bad news faces, but there's a new story breaking. Don't even have to leave my neighborhood. I'm uncovering everyday acts of good that you won't see in any headline. The more I look, the more I find kind people, my kind of people. If your vibe is your tribe, then I wanna be surrounded by a bunch of beautiful kind people, my kind of people. Just look for a smile and you'll find my kind of people. A simple smile, a friend dropping by to talk for a while. When you're down, they'll lift you up. Slow to judge, quick to love, helping hand that holds the door. Random people paying it forward to the next one waiting in line. The more you look, the more you'll find kind people, kind of people. If your vibe is your tribe, then I wanna be surrounded by a bunch of beautiful kind people, my kind of people. Just look for a smile and you'll find my kind of people. Imagine how different the world would be if we all could be kind people, my kind of people. If your vibe is your tribe, then I wanna be surrounded by a bunch of beautiful kind
Yes, all kinds of kind people. That's what we're here and that's what we're all about, is being in this place and choosing who we spend our time with and what am I paying attention to. Marianne Williamson has a beautiful quote from Return to Love. Love is the essential existential fact. It is our ultimate reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others is the meaning of life. How beautiful is that? To experience love in ourselves and others is the meaning of life. So let us be in that place and understand that that's what it's all about. Knowing that we get to choose and we get to be the example and we get to be the love in action every day. Are we choosing it consciously? Sometimes we intend to be, I know, especially for myself, but we sometimes life just gets busy. And in the midst of it all, things fall out of space. So we actually have our beloved Sonia here with us today from Barbados. We're having a little bit of a connection problem. So I'm knowing she'll be here. It's actually her birthday. So grateful that she's here with us. And I'm knowing she's going to make it back for our our reading. But I'm going to bring her in right now. She's going to do our invocation. There you are.
Yes,
Happy
I was off
birthday.
camera for a minute. Good
On
morning,
behalf of
CSL Greater
all of us,
Boston.
happy
Well,
birthday.
thank you,
May it,
Gina.
may it be your most blessed trip around the sun.
Good morning, CSL Boston. I'm going to ask you to take a moment and just go within, into that holy place where the God of your understanding resides. Recognizing and knowing that God is all there is. God is absolute goodness. God is each and every one of us who show up on this planet. God is all that we are. I am one with God, and as I know this for myself, I know this for each and every one of you. And so I speak my word, knowing that the world is filled with kind people, loving people, good people, and that as we go about our day-to-day activities, this is what we encounter: kindness, love, compassion, all the wonderful qualities of God showing up in each and every one of us. And so I give thanks. I give thanks for the goodness that is mine, for the goodness that is yours, for that love and compassion, for that kindness that is mine and that is yours. And I release this word knowing that it is done, and so it is. I'm going to ask you to join me for the reading. It is taken from Unity Daily Word, and it's on kindness. I am joyously, generously kind. Kindness is the language of my heart. As I go about my day, I do what I can to lighten a load, bring a smile, or give comfort to a lonely heart. My thoughts, words, and actions bless all those along my path. So often, it's the simple things that can mean the most. If I ever feel discouraged by the state of the world, I focus my attention on kindness. I feel grateful for the kindness others show me. I look for ways to pay those blessings forward. There are so many opportunities to touch another's life. My heart is full with the love of God. This love flows from me as I devote myself to considerate acts of service. I pray others know this divine love of God through the kindness I share with you. And this is a quote from Proverbs 31:26. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. This is the end of the reading for today, taken from Unity's Daily Word. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much for being here with us, especially on your birthday. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day, Sonia, and may this just be so blessed. Namaste. So being in this space, before we begin our message, I have a wonderful song that I want to share. And it's Nemo is the artist, and the name of the song is Being Kind. And he actually is someone who has a wonderful story that is a New Thought artist that he actually was a rapper on MTV. He was the head in the midst of an amazing career on Wall Street, making a ton of money and looking successful. And he ended up in India. He had seen a group, actually, it was an acting troupe from India, and it changed his life. So he took some time away and he went there and he stayed. He changed his whole life because that was his calling. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about what he could buy, but who he's meant to become. And he's an amazing man that I've had the gift of having on my show. And I invite you to really listen to the words of the song.
Starts sinking and I'm thinking, what's the reason why we holding back from being kind? What's the disease? But then I sense we are fine. It'll all happen one small step at a time. When the world is full of violence and it needs a little kindness, I just sit and pray in silence, and God shows me the signs. Open my eyes, realize we are fine. One small act at a time. Last night I'm walking home and the homeless man says hello with a smile to let me know that he's got a lot of hope. He says, have faith, young man, we are fine. The world is kind. One small act at a time. Small acts we do together, even though maybe alone, changes the world for the better so we can call it home. And this is life as we know, when our hearts are aligned, the magic that unfolds one small act at a time. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high, let your love for all the world spread through the skies. Let it drop down, let it all go, spreading kindness to every single living soul. Can you see your love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time, and kindness will be all we can leave behind. Yeah, feeling grateful today. Never thought this day would come where I would feel it and say that each and every one of us has paved the way doing good, and now we're all just moving up. When I'm kind to you, you pay it forward. This is how we build trust. Never had faith, but now I'm seeing you eye to eye. Wanna gift you my life, wanna spread love before I die. Thank you, God, for finally letting me realize When I serve man, I'm really serving you in disguise. Smiles everywhere, cause now everybody's got the bug. Ain't no life without the love. If it is, it ain't no fun. What we gonna do? Now just grab a friend and give a hug. Spread it out real wide so everyone can be touched. Throw your hearts up, let it fly high. Let your love for all the world spread through the sky. Let it drop down, let it all go. Spreading kindness to every single living soul. Can you see your love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time. And kindness will be all we can leave behind. Every single living soul. Can you see your love for me shining through? Cause what you see in me, I can see in you. And soon enough, you and me will be out of time. And kindness will be all we can leave behind.
Yes, kindness is what we leave behind in every moment. So welcome to CSL Greater Boston Sunday service. Thank you for being here with us. Know that we are live and we would love your comments. Good morning, Raul. Great to have you here. Any comments, any questions, anything at all, we'd love to hear from you. So put it right in that comment section. Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, thank you for being here. Know that we are here and we are so grateful that you are here with us. So today's message is love thy neighbor. Sometimes that's easy when we're with people that we know, we love, that think like us. It's easy sometimes. And other times, I don't always show up the way that I would want to. You know, I know that there's so much that happens in the world. And sometimes our lives are so busy that we get caught up. It's so easy. So I invite you to imagine yourself walking along the sidewalk with your arms full of groceries. It's a beautiful day, you're minding your own business, and then boom, somebody bumps you really hard. Your bags go everywhere, your eggs are cracked, there's tomatoes crushed. You're sitting there covered in your own purchases, and you're livid, and you're just about to get up and just scream, "You idiot! What's wrong with you? What are you, blind?" And then in that moment, you realize, yes, she is. She's walking down the street and she didn't mean to bump into you, but she couldn't see you. And in that moment, all that angst, all that upset melts away. And, the question is, was I paying attention? And the first thing I can say is, are you okay? Are you hurt? Because, of course, she's covered in all the same stuff I'm covered in that went flying everywhere. But all of that angst went away. See, life can be like that. When we realize the source of our disharmony and misery in the world is ignorance, it is our job to open up the door of wisdom and compassion. Sometimes it is a physical blindness, and sometimes it's not. People can't know what they don't know. And sometimes we're just not paying attention. How about when you're driving on the road? You ever have an instance where you're driving and someone cuts you off and you are angry? You're just like, what is wrong with you? Maybe you beep the horn. Maybe there might be some, unsavory things that come out of your mouth. Who knows? It's so funny. My mother used to get such bad road rage, even when she wasn't driving. It used to make me laugh so hard because she'd get so frustrated. I don't know where that person was going. What I do know is that there have been times that I didn't realize it and I cut someone else off. Whether I changed lanes and didn't fully look, or there's been times that I did that by accident and I didn't mean to. Maybe that person did the same. Maybe they're in a hurry. I've learned, for the most part, when someone does something like that, I try to remind myself that I'm grateful that I'm not in that much of a hurry. And may they get where they're going safely. I used to be in a race to get everywhere. I spent much of my life, in a hurry to get from point A to point B to C, and all through the alphabet before I got home at night. And the more I tried to pack in, the less I was aware of all that's around me. We're talking about loving my neighbor. And the fuller that my life gets, sometimes that's less on my horizon. You know, when I think about spirit, and my mantra, as I've shared many times, is spirit in me, as me, is me. And knowing that spirit is right here where I am I paying attention to that? Am I asking for that, living like that? Does someone that meets me see that? Thich Nhat Hanh said, true love is made of four elements: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Mm. So, being in that place, am I treating people in that way? Am I loving in that way? I love the term namaste. I say it usually every week. And what it means is my soul honors your soul. I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the light, the love, truth, beauty, peace within you because it is also within me. In sharing these things, we are united. We are the same. We are one. Namaste. So when I greet you with that, when I remember and I see you in that way, the divine in you is greeted by the divine in me. Spiritual practices help me stay there, that I may see that more often. And I'm still human with an ego and all that goes with it. So, how do I pay attention more often? Yes, it's practices. But part of it is also seeing my own biases. You know, it's surrounding ourselves with people of all different types of ages, races, sexual orientation, political affiliations, spiritual beliefs. People have different cultural backgrounds, life experiences. The more that I am surrounded by diversity, I'm going to see that a bit more. And depending upon where you live or how you live, sometimes that happens more frequently than others. Unfortunately, especially in the United States, the political line seems to be so, it's such a hot topic. I don't have to think like you. I don't have to believe what you believe to love you. My job is to love you as this divine being, as this infinite spirit in a human body. I am love. And Ernest Holmes says, of course, without love, nothing can be accomplished. With love, all things are possible. And as we love, our prayers are answered, and the gift of heaven is made. So it's being in that place. Jesus chose the road of service. He didn't tell people that, you have to worship me. He said, come with me. But he never wanted to be worshiped. That wasn't what he was here to do. He led the way. If you look at his actual teachings, they're parables that show right action. It's not about talking about it. It's about showing up and doing it, living as that light in the world, living in that kindness. In the reading that Sonia, the beautiful reading she read from Daily Word, it said, kindness is the language of my heart. And when I take care of myself, it is easier to do that. When I am practicing self care, when I'm not overscheduled and too busy, when I am taking care of all of my spiritual tools, when I'm making the time, it's easier to be aware. So it's learning how to make the time for what is most important. And one of the ways that we do that is through forgiveness. You know, I have a lot more room in my mind and in my heart space when I'm not resenting someone, whether it's something they said, something they did. It's easy to be against. We get caught up, ego gets fragile, and we can be in that place of againstness. I'm right, you're wrong. Sometimes there is no right or wrong. If it robs my peace, that's wrong. I want to be peaceful. I love that old adage of, you could, if you want a happy wife, sometimes it means being wrong. So what do you choose? To be happy or to be right? And that happens with a lot of things in life. Do I need to be right? Self-righteous indignation brings misery. When I get caught up in, but I'm right, I may be right, but do I need to fight about it? Is it really worth that? Of course, it's important to be treated the way we're meant to be treated. And when I talk about forgiveness, it's not about forgetting what someone said or did, but it's releasing it. Forgiveness is self love. Roger Teal said, forgiveness is one of the highest expressions of self love. It is loving yourself enough to move out of that stuck place, to get out of the quicksand. It is taking all the energy devoted to fear and resentment and channeling it into something that is constructive, life giving, and uplifting. Forgiveness is freeing yourself to get back to the higher agenda of your life, no longer tethered to the past. So we get to free ourselves. as well as the other person. Because when I'm holding something against that person, I'm holding that stuckness in place. There is energy that is not flowing as it needs to. There's a wonderful Hawaiian prayer, Ho'oponopono. And Ho'oponopono, I believe I said it right. And it's on YouTube. You can find them. And what it is actually, it's a mantra. And it says, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And when I say that again and again, and that mantra can be for 10 minutes, that mantra can be, it's sending love to whatever that circumstance or person is. A fellow minister that I love did it for an entire year for Putin because there was such anger over the war that every morning she sat down and she sent love. And it frees us, the holder, but it also lifts the world. There's only one, and that vibration, when we lift it, we lift all. The tide rises all boats. So it's so important that we remember that how we live, we don't have to agree to love each other. I don't have to believe what you believe, and I'm not making someone believe what I believe. There's a lot of things in this world that we wouldn't choose. I believe everybody should have a home. Everyone should have a roof over their head, and everybody should have enough to eat, great medical care. We are in a place that this is something that I believe is possible. So it's not just about what I believe in, but it's also about being in a place that I am living that way. I am walking the talk, not just saying what I believe, but I'm doing something about it. Now, how do I do something about homelessness somewhere else in the world? I can give money. I can find organizations. There are plenty of human rights groups that are out there. You know, there's things that we don't talk about often. Human trafficking. The thought that that exists all over the world. It's frightening to me when I think about it. So what happens is most of the time I don't think about it. When there's things that I don't like, it doesn't tend to be on my radar. But standing for everyone are the voices not heard from. When I think of children that are going through, that aren't being cared for, you know, I don't necessarily have to adopt a child, but I can give to adoption agencies. I can do something to make sure that the children in the systems have more. There's things that I can do to make sure the system is in place for them. I can pay attention. I don't have to cure anything, but my attention and my intention in and as love lifts any circumstance. Loving my neighbor isn't just when it's convenient. It's not just buying the cup of coffee for the person behind you. That's wonderful, and acts of kindness of all kinds are beautiful. But there's so many things we can do every day. Do you have that elderly aunt or uncle that lives on their own and would love to hear from you? Call them. Do you have a friend that maybe you're holding a little bit of a anger towards, or maybe it's, whether it was somebody from work or school, that when you see them, you just kind of cringe? Treat them with love. Let it go. Just let it go. There doesn't have to be a why. Forgiveness is its own gift. Let it go. You have a divine appointment upon your life. And when we allow stuff, circumstances, even people to get in the way, it can block that. When I get caught up in just what's in front of me, it can block me from my purpose. There's a quick little story I want to share with you. There's a young couple that moved into a new home, and the wife looked through the window in the backyard of the house, but next door, she saw the neighbor hanging out laundry. Look at their dirty linens, she said to her husband. And she says, it must not be the right kind of soap that she's using, or she just doesn't know what she's doing. And every time she saw her neighbor doing laundry, the wife was amazed at how dirty it was. Every time. One morning she looks through the window and it was clean. Her linen was finally clean. And she said, our neighbor finally got it right. Her laundry is so clean today. And her husband said, no, it's just that I washed our window. You know, sometimes we're looking through a dirty window. My perspective may not be all there is. A prayer that I often say is fix my eyes. You know, it's important that we remember, love is, I love this saying from Corinthians, and it's in many weddings. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast, not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. Now, as we look at this, it's easy to see that between a husband and a wife. But imagine this being every person, that we are loving and kind, rejoicing in the truth of each one, living in the namaste, seeing the Christ in you, seeing the Christ in myself reflected back. Not because we're the same, we think and act and do different things. That's okay. But because we choose to honor each other. I always get that choice. Regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of our age or any seeming similarities or differences. It doesn't matter. Ernest Holmes said, find the world to be good. Every person is an evolving soul. Let your mind be tempered with that human wisdom which rejects the lie, which separates the wheat from the chaff, but in all kindness, sympathy, and compassion. Let us be in that place, to be in kindness, sympathy, and compassion with each one that we meet. May we each step into this day, this week especially, loving our neighbor in a new way, not because of what they say or don't say, but because of who I am, that I react as I would choose to, that I am that. And I invite you to challenge yourself to be in that place of radical forgiveness for each one, for yourself and anything that you may have seemingly done, as well as for anyone we see. I give you the challenge to be loved this week in amazing ways. So thank you for being here. And I invite you to join me in our affirmation. If we could say it out loud. I see every being as a divine expression of love. And one more time, let's say this together. I see every being as a divine expression of love. So let's step into our week, demonstrating in new ways, not just random acts of kindness. Perhaps it's donating to an organization for human rights or whatever it is that we strongly believe in. Stepping up and advocating for the ones whose voices aren't as strong. Being that beacon of light, hope, and love that we choose to be consciously. So, on that note, I'm going to bring in our law of circulation states that giving activates receiving, and that we are here because of you. And if you've been served by this message, I invite you to give, whether it be through Venmo or PayPal, wherever you're watching this, there's links right underneath it. And your generosity is how we're here and how we are going out in the world in greater and greater ways. So thank you for your giving. And if we can all say our sacred giving affirmation, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And one more time, let's say that. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. What a gift it is to be here and to know. On Thursdays, we have our Sacred Circle at 7. Please join us for Sacred Conversation. Reverend Katie was here this past week, and it was wonderful. You know, it is always different people, different spiritual leaders, and it is always a wonderful conversation. So Thursday evening, Sacred Circle at 7, please join us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of all of this. And we are going to anchor this in prayer. Let us be in this place, this moment, right here and right now. And just take a breath, knowing that there is only one power, one presence, one love, one life. And that one infinite is joy, it is peace, harmony, it is light and love, perfect wholeness, omniscient, omnipresent, and opulent. And knowing that truth, that there is nowhere spirit is not, that I am that I am presence. I am that love and joy. And as I know it of me, I know it of each one. Each one is that individualized expression of divine, perfect, whole, and complete. And knowing that perfection, I choose and I claim perfect physical manifestations of this body, knowing that each cell, each atom and molecule Each organ, each system in the body is perfect. Each aspect of health is perfect. Vitality, ease of motion, celebration of this vessel right here and right now. I claim it for myself and for each one. Perfect wholeness, ease, and joy in who and whose I am. And I claim that for each. I know that right here and right now, I am the loving kindness I wish to see in the world. And I shine that light out. That part within me, that divine presence within me, sees the divine presence in thee. I step into this day, this week, knowing Spirit is the light, the love, the joy, and that I show up as that light, that joy, that love. Each person I meet, all that I think about, the divine heart within me loves. I am kind, I am joyous, and I pay attention. I shine that love and light out into the world on purpose, with purpose, as my purpose. And I know that there is greater love and peace in the world. There is greater joy because of it. So knowing and claiming this good, this abundance in all forms, for each one within my voice and beyond, I say thank you. Thank you, Spirit, that the light is within me and that I recognize the light within me. Thank you, Spirit, for knowing it is already done, that it is easy. I set it free. I let it be. Amen and blessed be. And so it is. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a light in the world. Thank you for shining it ever so brightly. I look forward to seeing you next week, joining us again in the comments. We love them whenever you're watching, wherever you are. Please let us know. And our final song for today is Love Be With You by Gary Lynn Floyd. So may love be with you this moment, this day, and every day forward. Blessings and love. Namaste.
Right, so this blessing is for you, and you can sing it along too. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, may good flow to you, and let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Yeah. All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free. Share this blessing. Love be with you. Peace enfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. May good flow to you. And let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. Peace enfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. Make good flow to you. And let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. Peace enfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come through you. Make good flow to you. And let joy renew you till we meet again. Love